I love the way I look. My bench is okay. It's at 255 right now. Might get better. Same as my squat. It's not 255. My squat is 305. 3 plates soon. No worries. My deadlift is 320. So compound lift total of 880. It's all right. We can work on that a little bit. I love my muscles, what I have now, what I've built, but it wasn't always like that. As a matter of fact, for the longest time, I was pretty weak. I was small, skinny, and exceptionally weak. This was me in freshman year of high school. I was roughly the same height, but I was barely at 105 pounds. To build a bit of some context here, I was the kid who would always wear shirts to the pool or to the beach. I was always picked on for looking skinny. I was called names like chicken legs, or like I was told that the wind can blow me away. Little things here and there about how I can be snapped in half like a glow stick. For the longest time, I hated the way I looked. I wanted something to change, but I just couldn't bring myself to do that. I always had a very difficult relationship with food. I've always seen eating as this monumental thing, as this large thing to scale over when it was as simple as eating a tamale, you know? I was told to just eat more, and growing up, I did have a fast metabolism, but getting told to eat more, eat a sandwich, eat a burger, eat whatever, isn't going to fix it. There's a lot more complexities when it comes to weight gain, but there was always someone that I could look up to make me feel a little better about my future, and that was my dad. This is my dad in the 2000s, I want to say early 2000s or so, right before he had moved to America. As you can see here, he had always tried to drill in the expectation of wanting to surpass him, and lo and behold, I did. He was always a great inspiration, and he had got me my first 20-pound dumbbells, and I worked on those. And I knew nothing about the gym, literally nothing. I mean, I would stand there, and I would curl the 20s in each arm for like 100 times, because I didn't know what else I could do. After a while of just doing that, I had come to learn a lot more about fitness. One of the biggest things that I had to do was gain weight. I had realized that when I started working out, I started getting a bit of muscle. None of the strength was really there. I didn't notice a change, but the strength didn't really reflect that. A lot of that was because of how I had created my self-worth based upon numbers on a scale. It had become my world. Regardless of how I looked or how I felt, if that number was below a certain weight, then I hated myself. But what little me didn't know is that I didn't eat enough. I started to bulk. You ingest more calories than what you burn. That is a bulk. In the simplest of terms, because we're not going to get super technical here, that's a bulk. And that's exactly what I did. I ate. I made myself a plate of food, and I looked at it, and I was like, God, that's a lot. And then I put more. I would sit down, eat it. I would force myself to scarf it all down, every single little bit of it. Even if it took me hours, I would sit there and make sure that my plate was empty, something that I had never thought about before when I was younger, something that would never cross my mind. After about 2 weeks or so of doing that, I'd gained about 10 pounds, and that was a substantial difference than what I looked before. So starting this journey of self-improvement, I had gained weight. Sometime around 2021, I was about 120 or so pounds. I mean, there's a start to everything. I started focusing on the macros. Not only did I learn about bulking, but I also learned about cutting. I learned about muscle isolation. I learned about all these different phrases during my journey that have benefited me so much in the long run. I have a better perception of myself in almost every way. My self-worth is no longer being judged by numbers on a scale. And I'll admit, sometimes I do look down at it, and I see the number. I'm not satisfied with it, and I feel pretty shitty about it. I do. But it doesn't surround my life. It doesn't make me who I am. I stopped worrying so much about how I looked. Now, I'm not going to stop. I'm not ever going to stop working out. This is a thing that's going to go on until the day I die. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. It's also important to understand that you can still struggle with body dysmorphia. All my life, I had struggled with body dysmorphia. I had hated the way I looked. I wasn't made to feel any better by the people around me who didn't understand my struggles, what I was going through. Self-improvement is key. I have realized that if I wanted to make a change, I had to improve myself, my body, as a person, my mental health. All of that connects to this. And while it doesn't solve everything, because it certainly didn't, I still feel a lot better about myself and about who I am and about my identity. When you look at yourself in the mirror and don't like what you see, that's normal. It's a normal thing for everybody to experience, to want that self-improvement, to want to look better for yourself. Little did this guy know that he'd surpass his father in strength in less than 10 years. More importantly, that he wouldn't hate the way he looked anymore. And I'm not done. I'm nowhere close to being done. As a matter of fact, this only fuels me to want to do even better. But I will not hop on anabolic steroids. I'm going to try to stay natty. And in a world like this, that's a tale for another time. It is never too late to start. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.